Now, I may be just a little bit biased, but these kids you see sitting in front of you are some of the best out there. I've enjoyed growing up and maturing alongside all of you these past 13 years. Even though I still think there may need to be a little work in that maturity department. But in all seriousness, as we prepare to close this first chapter in our lives, I can only think about all the great things that each one of you will accomplish as we dive headfirst into this next exciting chapter. But before we head into the new, I think it's important that we look back into the past and reflect on these 4 years of our high school career. When we first walked into this building as high school students, we probably felt nervous and uncertain of what the next 4 years would bring. But at least for myself, that excitement soon drowned that out. We started off the school year strong, excelling not only academically, but also becoming more involved in various sports and clubs. By the end of our freshman year, we were finally settled in and fully believed that we had this thing called high school flown with. If only our little scrawny, hard-headed minds would comprehend the struggle and disruption we would face next. March 17th, 2020, the day that would mark the start of a high school career way different than any of us would have ever imagined. COVID definitely made for an interesting twist to what was starting out to be any other normal year. 3 years later, I know everyone is tired of hearing about it and probably just wants to forget about it as a whole. But I believe that it is important not to focus so much on the negative consequences of it, but on how we overcome those consequences to continue to be successful and find new ways to remain educated and connected during those challenging times. Because in the end, we still got to have all of our ball seasons, club events, homecomings, and proms. They all just looked a little bit different than what we had imagined. And this leads me into the main point that I want to share with you all this evening. For myself growing up, there were always times when my brothers and I would be moving just a little bit slow. And it wouldn't be very long before my dad would come in and share with us a simple 4-letter word that would have us moving in an instant, most of the time. These 4 letters are J-U-M-P. Class of 2023, what does that spell? There you go. See everybody, we actually learned something. It is truly amazing though, how one little word can change your whole mindset in any given situation. I truly believe that the more important part is the explanation behind the word and not so much its actual meaning. You see, when my dad would tell my brothers and I to jump, he wasn't meaning jumping up and down in one spot like the floor was hot. But instead, get up quickly and do what was asked and expected of us, or face the consequences that would occur if we didn't. In other words, this was one of the methods my dad would use to hold us accountable. Up until this point in our life, we have relied on so many people to help keep us on track and accountable for our education and life. These people are our parents, teachers, siblings, and friends. Even though each one of us are taking different paths after high school, and we'll still have these people to help us stay accountable, the majority of this task falls directly on you and me. There aren't near as many people out there in the real world who'll be there to hold your hand and help you out. To make up for this, we have to be the ones to step up and focus on what we want from our life. And even though he will still remain a very, very important part of my life, my dad isn't always going to be there to keep reminding me to jump. Instead, I'm going to have to be the one telling myself, Kale, even though you really don't want to do this, and there are so many other better things you could do, you need to jump. You need to get up off your butt and get this done, because there isn't anyone else who can do it for you. Class of 2023, no matter where your life takes you or how successful you might become, there will always be times when you will have to face the challenges that may seem too big to handle. It is in those situations that it is most important for you to remember to tell yourself to jump and tackle that challenge head on. Because that is the only way you will ever be able to overcome it. Dodging around the problem won't accomplish anything. But when you jump up and grab the bull by the horns, you will learn how to soar over any challenge. And having been around most of you my entire life, I'm certain that every single one of you has the ability to jump up and soar through your own life. Parents, grandparents, teachers, administrators, school board members, and guests, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your impact on the class of 2023. We truly would not be where we are without all of your support and guidance along the way. And for that, we owe you more than we could ever repay. And for you, class of 2023, I'm proud to not only call you my class, but also my family. one whom I will never forget. At this moment, I sign off as your class president and fellow student, but join with each one of you in the unbreakable bond as the Sturgeon High School class of 2023, a title that no one else in the world would ever be able to hold. And with that, 10-4, over and out. Always jump high and put that hammer down. Congratulations, class of 2023.